Hello, everyone, and welcome to Pop Culture Spread, a fun weekly movie and streaming news show with a twist. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Rick. Hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell. We would really appreciate it. Also, remember, guys, you can hear us on audio podcast on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and wherever good podcasts are found. Check out our merchandise store. All the links are down below. And joining me on the show, as always, is the other half of Pop Culture Spread and my good mate, Jace. How are you, Jace?
Very good, mate. Very good. Been a big week in the business of show, so I'm excited to have a chat about some of the stories we've got this week.
Awesome. I know we've got a bit going on. So, you know what? No further ado, let's get into the big news. Oh, you can't get any more bigger than this. Deadpool 3, mate. We know there's obviously with the writer strikes, there's a lot of news going around, and we haven't heard much of what's going on, but we've got a little bit of Deadpool 3 news. So the director of the sequel says that he's going to pay tribute to the 20th Century Fox era for Marvel for Deadpool 3.
Yeah. It's a smart move, isn't it? The reason I think this is big news is because we haven't gotten much about this movie yet, and it comes out, believe it or not, Rick, in less than 7-8 months. It's due to be in cinemas, so we need to be starting to think. And I was wondering what pathway they would take with this film, and I think it's a genius move. Absolutely make it about the 20th Century Fox era, you know? And I loved what they kind of said, that Deadpool and Wolverine are iconic Marvel characters, more specifically known to the Marvel of the Fox era characters. And that's director Sean Levy. We're not going to pretend, we snap our fingers and suddenly the Fox legacy doesn't exist. It shaped a lot of what we know in the MCU. Fox also shaped Ryan's career, Hugh's career, and my career. So there's a lot of history there, and there's a lot of Marvel history at Fox, and it's certainly part of our storytelling. I think that's wonderful. We also know that Jennifer Garner has signed on to reprise her role as Elektra. There has been rumors about Ben Affleck as well. We know we're going to get some of the X-Men cast to return. Look, I think it's really exciting, and it's the natural storyline, right? Is for them to kind of address some of the things that have been dismissed since the Fox era has kind of finished with Marvel characters.
I think this is definitely a good way of moving forward with this movie. We got that little glimpse of, Jackman in his traditional, I guess, Wolverine style outfit, which is, fantastic. And if they're going to go down that way, look, you remember when the first X-Men came out and how a lot of people were pretty excited about that movie. And it was, I enjoyed it. There's a couple in that Fox series which are not that great. But when that first X-Men movie came out, or what was it, the third one? But
Dark Phoenix, I didn't hate Dark Phoenix.
Really?
Didn't hate it. I thought I had a couple of good scenes. It wasn't great, but it also came out in a very difficult period at that time. We all knew that Disney had bought Fox at this point, so I don't think that helped either. But not a great movie, but not as horrible. But you're right. We've had some stinkers through the Fox universe, like Elektra being a massive one, Daredevil being another one, Fantastic Four being another one. Although the Silver Surfer one is a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. But yeah, they've actually produced some stinkers. So, and of course, Wolverine.
One.
Yeah, the first standalone Wolverine, which was horrible. X-Men Origins Wolverine, just absolutely horrible. And if it wasn't for that film, we wouldn't have got this version of Deadpool, though. So I'm pretty. I think this is going to be a fun movie. Out of all the superhero films that are going to be released, Rick, this is the only one that kind of excites me. I think to me, in very much, this is the last grasp for me. This is the last. I'm not even that excited about Secret Wars, but I am excited about Deadpool 3. So
I think everyone's excited about Deadpool 3.
I think so because it's time to pay tribute, as I said, to Fox. It's time for Ryan Reynolds to do probably his last Deadpool film. He probably will appear in Secret Wars and things like that, but I would suggest this might be the last standalone Deadpool film. Yeah, a lot to look forward to. Can't wait to see a trailer.
He got Hugh back, so this is definitely going to be the last one.
Well, the other thing is, like with the other Deadpool films, we had excellent marketing campaigns, especially in that first movie. So I'm wondering when Ryan Reynolds is going to start to bust out the marketing machine for this one, because some of his marketing for Deadpool has been genius.
And that's him. That's what, mate. And I really look forward to all those marketing commercials and little bits and pieces of that. Do you think he's going to do that probably after the strike is settled and that's all?
Well, that may have something to do with it. And, you know, and there has been some movement on the strike this week, Rick. I know we don't have it as a key story, but the bigger figureheads are meeting now with the WGA. And I'm hoping by the end of October we have a resolution in this so we can all get on and enjoying the content we love so very much. So yeah,
beautiful. No worries. All right, mate. Let's get into some other news. We've got a bit of James Gunn news. So it's coming out that James Gunn DC film will be based out of Warner Brothers Levingston Studios, which is in the UK. Apparently this is a studio which is, I don't know if it's run down or it's not being used, but they're going to be pumping a lot of money into it, expanding it, and apparently James is behind this and he's very, very excited about this.
Well, at the end of the day, Rick, you know, these movies are expensive, and there has been a very budget conscious now approach by the industry. If you're filming over in England, you get your tax breaks, you have the freedom, you're away from spying eyes. London and England, when it comes to making big blockbuster films, a very long history. Some of the biggest blockbusters of all time were filmed there. And so what they're going to do is they're doing a major expansion, you know, an extra 400,000 square feet and 10 stages, increasing the sound stage by another 50%. So that is a massive development and really good. And it allows, I suppose, them to have their own little Dixie bubble when they are creating content. And you would assume Superman Legacy will be the first to film out of there, James Gunn's next film. And I would expect that if you're setting up a studio of that size, Rick, you are looking to do multiple projects at once, right? Why do that if you've really just got one movie on the go? So they're going full steam ahead, I think, here. And it's a good thing, mate. It's a really great thing. It's great for the economy over in England. Yeah. It's great for DC. It's great for the industry. I don't see a downside to this, honestly.
I don't see a downside on it either. I mean, it's something they've always done, like you said. And like you said, it's going to bring more jobs into the UK for them, more opportunities for everyone, and it's going to expand it for so much. So, hey, look, we trust James Gunn. I'm sure he's going to be doing some amazing things in that. So, looking forward to that.
It's going to be one of the toughest roles, though, Rick. Really, if you think about it, because you went into a studio, if Warner Brothers, not Warner Brothers, but more DC, which was, as we all commonly know, which was a bit of a mess. So the fact that he's had a huge job on his hands to not only clean the slate as such, but then figure out how to do this moving forward. So exciting times, I think.
It's going to cost him a bit of coin, so he's got to make that coin back. So he's got to produce some good content.
Which is a dangerous time, because as we know, people are not going to the movies to see superhero films as much anymore.
No, they are definitely not. And speaking of superheroes, we've got a bit of Chris Evans news. You like that little segue, Jace?
I do. I do very much.
When I saw this, I was like, so it says that Chris Evans plans to slowly step away from acting and wants to live like Seth Rogen. So I guess he's just kind of at his point in his life where I think he's kind of achieved as much as he wants. Whether or not he's not still enjoying acting, I'm not sure. but he wants to step back and kind of have that slow paced life, I guess.
He's not the first one to come out recently and kind of indicate that he's done. Our good friend Mark Wahlberg came out recently and said that he is planning on retiring from acting very soon. I think the industry has changed and it is in a change of, in a state of massive change. And I think we're going to have these scenarios come up more and more where you're going to have collateral damage, actors who don't want to work in the new format or feel like they've made their money and moving forward, there's nothing for them. And what they mean about about Seth Rogen, about wanting to live that lifestyle, is Seth Rogen, who's still very much involved in the industry, stepped back away from acting as much, has been a more producer role, does his pottery, lives the life he wants to do. He's stepped it down a gear. And I can imagine that is very appealing from some of these things. Look, let's face it, Chris Evans will always be Captain America now.
Oh, cool.
Every time you see, and it sucks for him because I think he's more than Captain America. I think he's a great actor. I always love him in films. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's going to be known as Captain America. So he will probably still do films, but he will always be seen by the general audience as like, oh, Captain America's in another film.
Yeah, that's it beyond that.
You know, and at the end of the day, like I said, if you've seen... what was the Knives Out? He's brilliant in that. If you have a look at his career, he's been fantastic. He was in a movie, was it called Cellular? Or the one, Cellular was a good film. And there was another one he was really, really great in, but I can't remember. But
not another teen movie. No.
Well, either way, and look, to be honest with you, he was the best part of those Fantastic Fox movies.
Oh, well, that's
He was, you know.
He's 42. It's young still to, you know, and he's achieved.
Yeah, well, maybe
so
he's
much,
just really smart. I mean, how much do you think Chris Evans is worth? Who knows? But I can't imagine him needing food vouchers anytime soon.
No,
so maybe it's not about the accumulation of wealth anymore, but just getting yourself into a life where you're self-sustainable and you can do what you want. That's the real key here. It's not to have many zeros in your account. It's just, can you live the life that you want? And maybe that's his attitude. I don't know. But I think good luck to him, whatever he does.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Obviously, he's got his money tied up in something and he's knows what he wants in the future. So there we go. Well, let's talk a bit of box office news, Jace. There's, like you said, there's not much coming out on the movies at the moment, but one of the movies is Expendables 4. Now, this kind of was a bit of a shock. Like, this is actually predicting, they're saying that it's going to make probably between 15 to 17 million during the opening weekend of this film. It's a bit, is it really? And I look back and you go back through all the figures and it actually did make some quite good coin throughout the other three movies, besides the third one, because they dropped it from an R rating to a PG, which kind of swapped it down. But it's back here, and they've made a fourth one, and it's going to make some money.
Well, the third one actually earned $214 million back in 2014, almost 10 years ago since the previous version. Doesn't that blow your mind that they're still doing them? I mean, he was old when they made the first Expendables.
They were old.
How old is he now, you know? But, you know, those films are what they are. They're going to get a demographic. They're never really going to bust out too much, though. I think it's a bit of a tired franchise. And I also think it's indicative of the tail end of franchise-driven Hollywood. Well, there'll always be franchises, don't get me wrong, but I think you know, people getting excited about seeing Fast 27 or Expendable 17 is just, I don't think that's the case anymore. So do I have any interest in seeing that film?
No.
Only at home when I've got nothing better to watch.
Correct. When it's streaming, that's it. Like, you know, well, he's saying that's it. This is end for Stallone. The fourth one, that's it for him.
He's got to be, you know. And I tell you what, good on Stallone, though, to be so late in career and bust out a new franchise. To do it at the age he was and to make it as successful as it was is a testament to him. And if you haven't watched The Tulsa King on TV, if you want to see how good Stallone can be as an actor, absolutely recommend you watch that. He is absolutely fantastic playing a mob boss. And I highly, highly recommend that show. He's really great. So good on him. Not my cup of tea, mate. It does seem low numbers, but when you look a lot of what it potentially will make this weekend.
Yeah.
But in saying that, if you look at the data from the other films, it's right on target to be just as successful. So.
Well, that's right. And I think they're going to, like he said, this is going to be his last, and he's going to pass it on to Statham. So whether or not Statham continues more, who knows? I mean, Statham's still quite young.
Yeah. Well, maybe he can merge the Meg and Expendables together, and they all go and find a giant shark.
That's terrible. Jeez.
But there you go. There you go.
Speaking of streaming. We're
speaking
talking about of Meg and sharks, but which is on streaming. But anyway, Prime Video.
Good attempt at a segue there, mate.
Yeah, I know. Amazon. We've got some news about Amazon. They are looking at adding commercials next year to Prime Video. And they're going to be hitting a couple of countries, and we are actually on the list, Australia. So they're going to be hitting the US, UK, Germany, Canada, France, Italy, Spain, Mexico, and Australia. So there'll be an extra cost to actually get rid of those commercials. So currently paying around $15 for the service, and they're going to be charging an extra $3 or $2.99 per month to remove the commercials. Wow. Is it necessary? Is this just...
Look, there's two ways to look at this, Rick.
There's
the consumer end, and then there's the business end. The business end is we're aware of the harsh realities of what's going on in regards to producing content. They're losing money. They need to get extra money in. They need to recoup. Costs bring more income in. So from a business perspective, I understand it, because what do? They're going to raise them. It seems a bit back-ended way to raise the prices, rather than, why don't you just raise $3 a month and the ad thing's not out there. But in saying that, there might be people who go, look, man, I've got a really tight budget. I can afford this. If it means I get a few ads here and there, no big deal. So I can see why they did the business end. As a consumer, things are expensive. Things are going up. It is frustrating. It's like, what? I have to pay extra just to have something that wasn't there in the first place?
Correct.
And so I'm going to pay extra. So, yeah, I mean, is it necessary? I think from a business perspective, yeah. From a consumer thing, I think we're all coming to a level of acceptance. Everything's going up. So we're paying extra for everything, and streaming services are no different.
Yeah. Hey, look, they're definitely going to lose clients out of it. You can definitely...
Well, I'll tell you what, I was talking to my son the other night about my strategy with streaming services, because I have been an earlier adopter of streaming services and had them all and paid for all the subscriptions all the way through. Just got them all. Even if I'm not watching content on that streaming services, they were still getting their money every month. Now I've changed my philosophy and gone, well, look, I'm going to see what content I want to watch, and I'm going to disassociate from the other ones. Means I will cancel that month and then just re-sign up for the month. At the moment, I don't have Netflix. There is nothing on Netflix. The last thing I watched was One Piece. There's nothing else that is grabbing me at the moment. Once there's something in, I'll go back and get involved. And I'm doing that with a lot of these channels, including Disney Plus. Once Loki Season 2 is done, I don't think there's anything I'm interested in until Andor Season 2, so I'll disconnect. So that's my advice, is to just pick and choose the streaming services and rotate them through when the content's there to enjoy.
Yeah, it's a good
But
strategy.
Amazon are smart, though, because you know what? Remember, Amazon their core business is not content creation. Their core business is a delivery service.
Right.
And you've got to remember, they offer that Prime streaming service as a free thank you for you signing up for their Prime delivery system. That's what it's really about. So That's one of the streaming services that if you do want to take out of the rotation, you got to factor in you're not going to get your priority deliveries as well. So they're smart in that in that
So this is
regard.
definitely going to follow suit. You're going to see Netflix. You're going to see
They've all come out.
all
I
the
think
others
Disney
gonna
came out
follow
recently and said they're going to
with
put their
commercials.
prices up. And yeah. Oh, sorry, with the
They're gonna,
commercials,
the others are
absolutely.
going to follow. For
Yeah,
sure.
we know
Let's get to
that.
that point.
Netflix are offering a free version of Netflix that is full of ads, or no, not free, a very reduced cost. I do believe Disney's been talking about it. Yeah, that'll be a thing that you'll be able to still get streaming services at a bottom price, but you'll have to watch ads.
But
Which
ads,
I won't.
how many ads are you going to get? They might start off with a couple here and there, but then they're going to get to the point where you're going to have.
I think if you are from the
ads
generation when you did watch normal television when it was still a thing, on an hour-long show, you would have 15 minutes of ads. That's why every TV episode back then was 44 minutes, because they had 16 minutes to fill with ad and promos. So I would suggest we're going to get into that same kind of territory.
It will get to that point when people are just going to go, I'm just sick of
it's a
seeing
hard
ads.
thing
I'm just going to pay the $3.
I mean, yeah, we can get all, pissy about the fact that we're may have to watch ads and things like that. But we all want this great content. And how do we get that? I mean, remember, we for decades just watch commercials. Commercials are part of our life. Even Foxtel, our cable service here in Australia, full of ads. I think if we have to come to a level of acceptance that if we can't afford it, we get a lower version. We have to put up with ads. And that's just the state of play. We want the content. We don't want to pay for the premium. That's our alternative.
It is what it is. Well, we'll see how it goes here in Australia. All right, Jace, let's get into train wreck of the week.
Oh, train wreck of the week.
So speaking of ads, Robert De Niro is reportedly reprising taxi driver character Travis Bickle for Uber ad campaign. What the hell is Uber thinking?
No, Uber are the smart ones. What the hell is De Niro thinking? And what the hell? I mean, he's thinking money, right? But how does Scorsese allow this? Look, Super Bowl ads and things like that. I don't know if this is going to be a Super Bowl ad or whatever. Sometimes it's cute to make film references, but we're going to be making fun of Taxi Driver,
especially.
We're going to be making fun of what next? Is there no respect for some of the classic important films of that era? I don't know. It just left a bad taste in my mouth, man, because I think it's a cheap cash grab, which no one's saying it's not, but it is, and it's, I don't know, man, leaves a bad taste in my mouth 100%.
So you got to take a movie which was based around a taxi driver who has mentally unstable and has a desire and the urge for violence, and you put it in a Uber ad.
Well, what you do is you delineate that film and you don't give the new generation an opportunity to go back and be absorbed in a very culturally important film for that era. And you just delineate it by saying it's a throwaway ad. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. And people go, get over it. It's just an ad. It doesn't change. Well, it does, to my opinion. It really does. Like, if you're a 10-year-old kid, not 10 years old, maybe I'll make that 14. I was 10 when I saw it. Maybe 14, 15, you're a film buff, you're going to watch Taxi Driver. I would prefer that person to be able to go in with little knowledge and experience the film for what it presents. I don't like the idea of these ads doing that. Taking a very beloved, culturally important film for American cinema, make fun of it. It's not cool.
I mean, he's getting on. Like, De Niro is getting on. And then what? Are they going to put like celebrity passengers? So are they going to get people from the movie? They're going to get like Jodie Foster or Sybil Shepherd. Are they going? You know what I mean? Or
maybe.
That's just so bad.
I'm sure in a way it'll be funny, and I'm sure in a way it'll be cute. But it still doesn't, for me, move past the fact that it is kind of disrespectful.
It is. It is. It's just a stupid move. But, hey, look, I'm going to definitely check it out when we see this commercial. But, I think it's a dumb thing to do. But anyway, it's Uber for you. You know what? Let's get out of all that, Jace. Let's get into my favourite section of our show, and that is the Great Aussie Telly.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up today is a bum.
All right. Now, you guys know I don't actually tell Rick what I'm planning on showing on this. So this week I decided to have a look at some Aussie telly, like as we're supposed to. But I thought, there's plenty of stuff from the past, but let's talk about morning television in Australia. Now, morning television here, like the Today Show or whatever, morning television, we have the same thing here. We particularly have one show called the Today Show, which has had its ups and downs, but has provided some unbelievably funny moments. These are not that old, so I've got 2 clips to show you today. I'm going to run the first one, we'll have a chat about it, and then we'll move into the second one. Check out this great Aussie TV moment.
Good morning to you, Michael. Thanks for the points.
Hi, Lisa. How are you this morning? Great to be here as a boy. Always loved planes. It's a fantastic, exciting morning to be in front of one.
It is. And you got a big one too. 3 million points. Plane.
3 million points.
Tell us
it's
about
a lot,
the competition. Keep watching the show in the coming weeks, and we'll tell you how you can win your share of 3 million frequent flyer points. That's huge, Carl.
You were right, Lisa. It is a big one.
What was that?
It was a big plane. It's a huge plane. It was massive.
Well, I was.
He said you've got a big one.
He looks pretty pleased with himself anyway. He'll take that one.
Hello. Very happy camper. Little spring in the step to work today.
Today's show, they are full of double entendres, and you just don't see this anywhere else. This kind of loose Australian approach to things. And check out this next clip, which is probably one of their most iconic clips in regards to just being very Australian.
Because we love the video, but take us back to what was happening leading up to that moment.
Well, we'd been down at Options Tavern at a Stubbies and Singlets party, and
Beautiful.
got dropped off by a mate up the road and decided to walk down the survey, get some noodles, and went to jump over a sign on the way and slipped over and busted my plugger.
That's so Australian.
Busted a plugger.
So you've got a busted plugger.
Singlet shorts party.
What are you seeing that's happening at the servo?
So, was pretty concerned about my blowout I had, and looked up and saw a white Commodore pull up, 2 blokes with shirts around their faces, and and sort of thought something was a bit sus, so better go and check it out.
Go. That is like these quintessential Australian right there. Busting my plug out. The Commodore.
Just in context for the audience, these guys went to a survey, saw a couple of guys break into a shop just outside the survey. He's wearing a pair of shorts, that's it. And they go and stop them. And in classic Aussie fashion, mate. Makes you proud to be an Aussie, that clip.
He loves it. He just loves it. And I love the first clip that you did, Jason, with the, with Qantas happening there, mate. I love it. So
it was a big plane.
The big plane.
yeah, he's got a big one.
That's awesome. I absolutely love it. That's great because I don't know what you produce. So
no,
yeah,
I'm just grabbing things out of the archives, mate. So always
absolutely
of good stuff to show in that segment.
We got plenty of good Aussie TV for sure.
Exactly.
Oh, that was awesome. I think that about wraps it all up for us today, Jake. It was a bit of a quick one for everyone, and
in and out.
Yeah.
I love
That's it, mate. No, that's it. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it. We will see you guys all next week. But bye from me.
See you guys. Thanks
See ya.
for watching the Pop Culture Spread YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Also, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you're looking for some quality wear, don't forget to check out our merchandise store available right now.